Rising petrol prices threaten public transport operations. Mental health advocates call for more support and awareness. Construction of new Gleno City Market underway. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Sonia Madeira. Commuters and drivers continue to worry about fuel prices rising sharply across Chile. A spokesperson told RTTL World News that public transport could be forced to cease operation in the next 2 weeks if prices continue to increase.
A price rise at the petrol pump. Travelers have gone from paying $1.19 to paying $1.50 a liter for gasoline, while diesel has gone from $1.23 to $1.65 a liter. The spike has put financial pressure on public transport operators across the country.
The current fuel price is worrying because the price is very high. We earn very little money that we use most of it to fill up for the next day. After that, we don't have much left.
Driver's spokesperson Valentino Afonso Ximenez says there is a plan to hold operations while the oil price remains high.
If the price of oil continues to rise in the next 2 weeks, we will stop operating.
It's very hard because every day we only earn $20 to $30 and we just use it all to fill up the tank. If this continues like this, it will be very hard for us to get by.
Other commuters are also concerned as the price of gasoline reaches $1.50 at petrol stations.
The conflict makes fuel prices soar. If this continues, life will be really hard for us, the ordinary people.
I'm calling on the government to look into the price of oil because the price continues to rise. For instance, before it only cost $8 to fill up my tank, but now it costs me $15.
The price of oil 2 months ago was normal, but now it has gone up. It is so sad.
2 weeks ago, the Timorese government set a standard price of $1.50 for gasoline and $1.65 for diesel, following the spike of global price amid war in the Middle East. Some petrol stations across Dili are still selling gasoline for as low as $1.35 a liter, but many have sold it at the government standard. Apart from setting the standard price, the government also approved $168.8 million to buy 80,000 tons of oil reserves for national consumption.
The government will continue to monitor the situation closely. If it continues to get worse, maybe the 80 million liters will only last for 6 months. So I have informed the President we might need to reduce the energy consumption by cutting power from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. every day.
On Thursday, global oil prices dropped from $110 to $95 per barrel amid ceasefire. However, it might take weeks for consumers across Timor-Leste to see the drop in their local petrol stations. Vicky Madeira, Domingos Trindade, RTTL World News.
Timor-Leste is experiencing a staggering spike in suicides, recording 6 deaths in the last 3 months, almost half of the 16 cases reported last year. This mental health crisis is met with a critical shortage of resources, as the entire nation currently relies on just 3 resident psychiatrists. The alarming trend has prompted medical professionals to issue an urgent plea to the Ministry of Health and mental health advocates to immediately expand basic services and intensify public awareness to prevent further loss of life.
Abelinda acts as a steady anchor, waiting for the man she loves to resurface. Her husband was first diagnosed with schizophrenia, a chronic mental health disorder, last December.
We came here because he was very aggressive. He destroyed things, he cursed people, and he didn't recognize us, his family.
21-year-old Abelinda told RTTL that this is the second time her family has left their Atauru Island home to be closer to the National Hospital, as her husband Fernando requires intensive treatment.
I brought my husband here to get him treated early so he can recover to be with me and our daughter.
Abelinda said his illness resurfaced after he stopped taking his prescribed medication for 2 weeks.
His medication ran out at home and we forgot to pick up more from the health center.
After 5 days of treatment, he is feeling better and is able to communicate with her.
After getting treatment, his condition is a bit stable and he recognizes me as his wife and he asked for our daughter.
Currently, there are more than 1,000 mental health patients requiring regular treatment and intensive care at the National Hospital Acute Care Unit. Across the country, there are only 2 acute care units for mental health disorders, one in Dili and one in the highlands east of Dili. 4 patients are currently undergoing intensive treatment at the National Hospital.
We have space in this center. We have 14 beds and right now only 4 patients.
Despite the empty beds, many patients are not receiving the required treatment as access to support and information remain a challenge.
My concern is the public is unaware of the mental health illness and services. People who have mental health problems should be treated early on, rather than waiting until aggressive behavior appears.
A recent survey conducted in schools reveals high prevalence of suicidal thoughts among children. Last month, a report from Timor-Leste's National Police confirmed most suicidal deaths involved young people.
The message for parents is to build strong relationships with their children. If there are problems, communicate with them properly, help them find solutions, and don't let them face their struggles alone.
With only 3 psychiatrists available, Dr. Kintown says health workers across the country have been trained to provide basic care for people with mental disorders.
We've trained health workers in all municipalities. So now in every health center, we have a health worker who is responsible for providing care for people with mental health illness.
If you or someone you know requires mental health support, you can call the mental health hotline on 333-1247. Paulina Kintown, Flavio Barros, RTTL World News.
Construction of the new Gleno City Market in Ermera is now underway, but has attracted criticism from the local community for restricting road access. The project launched by the Ministry of Trade and Industry in February will cost more than $8 million and is hoped to provide a clean, modern market for local commerce and community development.
Construction is underway in Ermera. Chinese contractor Henan Fifth Construction Group is working across a 3.7-hectare block of land to develop the new Gleno City Market.
So now we are starting excavation. We have excavated a total area of 2,000 square meters and we still continue.
However, community members and landowners have expressed concern about the construction process. Natalino de Jesus, a member of the community adjacent to the construction, told RTTL World News about access restrictions caused by the construction.
The problem is because the construction of a fence for construction has blocked the road for us. making the people who live here worry about the road. We don't have access to the road. They only provide a small path for walking, while motorbikes and cars can't pass.
He said the community has held discussions with the authorities, but they were unable to reach a resolution.
We have had dialogue with the market management team, and they said they would give us 2-meter wide access. But in reality, they fenced off the construction area, and there is no space for us to walk.
Mr. Nunes said the government is working with the community to highlight undisputed land for the continuation of construction.
We have received information from the Ministry of Land and Property and the Ministry of Trade and Industry that they will communicate with the community, and when they have reached an agreement with the community, they will notify us to add land that has not yet reached an agreement.
Meanwhile, Gleno market vendor Maria Octaviana Madeira hopes the new market development will be more hygienic.
Our current market is dirty and unkempt, and few people still live here. Now the government is building a new market, and I think it will be good for us.
Mr. Nunes said the market will provide a more modern environment for vendors to do their business.
There will be a space for selling, parking area, garden, security place, rubbish bin, and also the facility of sanitation and clean water.
Construction is targeted to be completed by December 2027. Zegedes, RTTL World News.
Timor-Leste's education system continues to grapple with teacher shortages, overstretched staff, and poor school facilities. In part 2 of our interview with Professor Aurelio Guterres, the respected academic and former UNTL rector, shares his suggestions on how the Ministry of Education can strengthen teaching quality and build a more resilient education system.
So, Doctor, now we're going to talk about teacher shortage in Timor-Leste. How can the Ministry of Education address the current teacher shortage in Timor-Leste?
I think the problem that we are facing, we have it. I can categorize in 3 levels. We have at the policy level, administrative level, operational level. At the policy level, we don't have a clear, especially from the Minister of Education, the current minister, they don't have a strategic vision on how to direct this national education system, for instance. If we refer to the population nowadays, almost 30 to 40% of our population they are students. I think it's quite big number. And then if we see the budget allocation also is still very limited compared to the Asian region, very, very small. And then comes to the same thing comes to the teachers' capacity, human resource. As you know, that in terms of our students, annual intake of students from basic education, an average, if we see the growth of our population, 25 to 30,000 students every year. And then, in terms of planning, these are supposed to the teachers. Training also has to be aligned with the intake of the students, and then plus the facilities, not only school classrooms, but you talk about quality. If you want to have an output with a good quality or higher quality, so you have to invest in the facilities, classrooms, libraries, teachers training. Continuous training is very important.
How does a lack of teachers affect students' learning?
Definitely. If we have, say, the ideal number is 1 teacher equivalent to 15 to 25 students, I think that's ideal. In the region, I think only us, for instance, in our case, 1 teacher may be equivalent to 50, 60, 70 students, sometimes. So if you have in a class a number of, that's based on our studies. In a class, if you have the number of students above 30, 35 per class, it does not function well in terms of learning process. It's not.
So, doctor, we talk about the preparation for teachers. So here in Timor-Leste, we called Rttl.Ep. So what did you view of this process?
Our teachers, they are prepared at the Faculty of Education of the institution. For in this case, for instance, when they started the preparation of education, so the Faculty of Education, they prepared the teachers there when they graduate from university. They have a certificate, diploma in the Faculty of Education, but also they have a certificate. They call it Act 4 to teach. So they are different from other faculties. So they are ready to teach, but they also have, we call it continuous training. And then when you talk to continuous training, the Rttl.Ep is taking care of that, providing continuous training. The question right now is that in our case, as you all know, that our teachers are very, I can say very, I don't say that very bad pay, but they have a very, very small salaries compared to in other countries. Teachers are very well paid, so it's total. So become a teacher here is not a good job in terms of for family well-being. I don't think that we are really consider the role of our teachers in our education. So these also contribute to the quality, and then you don't recruit people. People go to teach not because they like teaching, or because it's like a job. It's not because people have.
The teacher shortage has resulted in teachers teaching classes outside their areas of expertise. What impact does this have on students and teachers?
Very, very in a big impact, especially if you say, I heard that some teachers, they are from social background, but they go and teach maths or physics or exact science. So it does not feel. Say, the teachers, they are prepared for it to teach maths, to teach psychology, chemistry, language. But if you recruit a teacher because he or she graduates from Faculty of Education, you don't see their background and then go and teach. So these will affect directly.
I think that's all. Thank you very much for talking with RTTL World News, Dr. Rttl.
Nice to meet you again. Thank you very much for inviting me.
In sport news, Timorese expatriates living in Australia have returned to their homeland to take part in an over-40s football tournament. The tournament, hosted in Dili by the Commercial Association of Timorese Chinese Community, featured 4 teams of lifelong football players. RTTL World News reporter Jagares covered this match between Timor United FC and Cristo Rey FC, which involved a large number of former Timor-Leste national team players.
Coming together on home soil, no matter the distance. Johnny Cham traveled from Melbourne, returning to his roots after expatriating from Timor-Leste in 1991.
We're so happy to come here, to come back to our country to play. We left here when we were kids. It's an opportunity for us to come back here to play in our country with teams here. Happy to see old friends.
For José Leon, this is more than just a game.
Some of them left Timor 40 years, 30 years. So when they first come back, it's a good feeling for them. You know, it's almost coming back home. And
Timor United FC and Cristo Rey FC face off in their first match. Before kick-off, the Cristo Rey players wear traditional Timor-Leste scarves, a symbol of friendship. The whistle blows and the game begins. While these players may not have the stamina and agility they once did, their technical skills showed their class and experience on the football field. Johnny Cham became the star of the match, scoring a hat-trick to steer Timor United to a landslide 8-1 victory. Although they lost to their Timorese Australian counterparts, Claudino Mesquita is happy to return to the pitch with his team, Rttl.Ep FC.
As I got older, I stopped playing football for a long time, but then they opened up competitions for those age 40 and above, so we play again with the skills we once had.
Meanwhile, the next generation watched it on. Thomas Rutkowski, a player for Timor-Leste's under-17 national team, watched his father play for Timor United.
Spirit of football brings everyone together, and as a young player, watching the older players, the veterans play is a good eye-opener, and it's a great opportunity to strengthen the team and try as a team to beat Indonesia or Malaysia or Vietnam. So I think he has good skills to the team and can combine really well with the others as well.
Proving that age is no barrier on the football field.
In international news, plans to expand the Dreamworld precinct on the Gold Coast could be fast-tracked with the Queensland government exercising special call-in powers. But residents and experts argue the project will increase traffic bottlenecks in the growing region.
It brings thousands of tourists to the Gold Coast each year. Perched in one of the country's fastest growing regions, those who call Coomera home say plans to expand Dreamworld could become a nightmare.
Are they kidding? Are they actually serious about this? I could not believe they were going to put something that scale in this area. There's not room.
Once dense green space, locals don't recognise the suburb anymore.
Everything's been taken up by development around here.
Tucked close to the M1, traffic has long plagued the area, with up to 4 peak hours each day.
We're really in danger in this part of the Gold Coast of having permanent traffic jam.
The original pitch would clear vegetation and koala habitat to complete the 55-hectare precinct. This expert wants to flip that, instead transforming this car park into the site of the new build.
People will choose to do things on foot rather than feeling they either can't do those things or they have to hop in a car.
Dreamworld said it understood the traffic concern and will work with the state government. The plan to fast-track any developments rests with Jared Blay.
And I would be willing to look at all things that they put on the table.
There are plenty of ways to stay fit and keep moving as you get older, but dance isn't always at the top of the list. A Townsville program has been giving people in their golden years a chance to celebrate the joy of being alive through movement and connections with one another.
Still Dancing is a class that runs here once a week and has been running for more than 10 years. The main demographic is generally women over 55.
It's embodiment and connection. Push your weight into your heel. There's a lot of freedom in the class.
I've been coming to the class, I think, for about 4 years. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. I found it, what am I doing here kind of thing. I couldn't now be without it, it's just that thing of being able to move in the way you like. It's a sense of joy.
I did learn ballet when I was younger, but that's much more restricted. Here you can just follow your body, just makes you feel so good.
There's a lot of pressure on people in their later years to exercise to remain healthy and biomechanically stable, but a lot of that exercise can be very linear and regimented and not very inspiring.
There's so much depth of relationship here in the room every week.
It's a great gift we have given here, this experience of connection and being together and really community in a sense.
Everyone can dance and generally everyone will enjoy dance.
Life's too short. If you don't move it, you lose it.
And now the weather with Jagetas.
Thanks, Sonia. Here is tomorrow's weather, starting with Delhi. Cloudy with afternoon showers, a top of 32 and a low of 22. Partly cloudy with scattered showers in Bokau, temperatures ranging between 30 and 19 degrees. Overcast with passing showers in Lauten, a high of 30 and a low of 20 degrees. Partly sunny in Bobonaro, a top temperature of 29 and a low of 15. And in Aileu, pleasant and partly cloudy, temperatures ranging between 27 and 13. Kupang is looking bright and sunny, a high of 33 and a low of 23. Mostly sunny in Bali, temperatures ranging between 33 and 22. In Jakarta, cloudy with an afternoon thunderstorm, a top of 33 and a low of 24. Cloudy and humid in Seoul, a high of 16 and a low of 10 degrees. Mostly sunny in Darwin with temperatures ranging between 34 and 22 degrees. Sydney is looking pleasant and sunny, a high of 22 and a low of 12 degrees. Partly cloudy in Lisbon with temperatures ranging between 18 and 12. In London, partly cloudy with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a top temperature of 14 and a low of 7. And overcast with scattered showers in Belfast, a high of 11 and a low of 3. That's all for now. Back to you, Sonia.
Thanks, Geddes, and thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Thursday. Bye for now.